Well, also what happened with my that amazing relationship I had. My gosh, that went so bad, and it's like with her, it's now all war, and she made me out to be this terrible person, this abuser. Kasey, I met her December 18th, and we were just like we got so close, and so warm, so wonderful, and she actually gave me a ring, which I took off and put on again. It's kind of weird, but I'm gonna put it on because it's a symbol of something else. Like she's kind of become like this dragon herself in a very bad faith, where she just spits fire. Because she's so, she feels like I have abused her. It's been, terrible. Wow, after I said, because I was so upset with her that I feel like, please stop talking, I said, please, because I feel like snapping. I got so upset. And she totally took that out of proportion. And then actually it was before that already, it started a long time ago where things got very, very cold and she got very distant and I was like, what the heck is going on here? But she doesn't want to hear that, and communication to them, there's nothing, and she is like very, very, negative, very unwarm, and unfriendly, and still blaming me, and it's just like at war. It's bad. It's like this dragon. Anyway, this dragon is symbolic of my inner dragon, because it also comes out, I know that. And through this I can eat my own tail, right? But it's a good symbol, it's great, I love that, because this is about me. I always say, whatever happens to you, it's not about the other person, it's always about yourself. It's always about yourself. And that's dragon is symbolic of when I get upset, when my inner dragon comes out, or when Christoph gets pissed off. Which, when you are in a relationship with somebody, especially when there's love, as you learn about the other person because you love them, you want to get to know them, and you then learn how to not only not piss them off, but to make them feel good. That is, one's responsibility, or that's one's role as you come into a relationship, to learn that about the other person. Otherwise, it's impossible to have a relationship, because then you just upset the other person. You do things to irritate them, without even, without working on that, on how to be better. And that's what it's really all about. Love. That's the proof of love. See, that's why love is not just something you fall into love when you meet somebody and they make you feel great. Relationships are not all about mutual adoration and just loving each other and looking at each other and just, the good things. It's not just about that. Relationships really start when there are problems, because then the test of the relationship is really, can we work it out? Do you love me enough? Do you care enough to work on that with me? To work on yourself. Help me working on myself, which of course I cannot do. You cannot do for me, and I cannot do for you, to work on yourself. But that's really where it begins, a relationship, where people really, as they love each other, they work through each other through all the bullshit. They work through it because they know it's part of it. And you're not perfect. You have things that I don't like, and things that upset me, and things I don't agree with. But hey, I love you, so I pay attention in it because I want to learn. I care enough to understand you. And that sadly has been missing in this relationship, in my previous relationships. And I think most relationships are missing that. So this is just another lesson. But I'm learning to embrace this more, so I'm going to keep this ring on. And what will be. Always. But love, again, always is the way. Love's an attitude. It used to be my screen name a long time ago on AOL. And America Online, America Online. We're online. You're watching this online, right? But also offline. It's not just... Or rather, it is. Let's talk about not what it not is, what it is. Let's talk about what it is. It's about you living this, you being this. You're learning to know, as you get in touch with your love, the love of others. And knowing the other aspects that are not so lovable, just leave it alone. It's not your job to change that. Or if you feed off on that, it amplifies. And then it will destroy the love. As in this relationship. Well, it wasn't really so much a relationship, because I also noticed, just like with Magella last year, a woman I met from Ireland, we didn't learn each other. There was no relationship. There was really no communication. There was really no from the other person about, hey, I really want to get to know you, and really listening to what I'm saying. More like just going on about themselves, and like how this is Kasey and her own lifestyle and her own beliefs and her own knowledge and her own blah, 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 blah. But she's then always turning it around on me and saying, oh, Christoph, you're not saying anything. I already know what you're going to say. And like this really cutting me off already intellectually. Which she's on a very different level too. She's a very bright, very educated in her own mind. Knowledge about, things. Well, I always, as I was a rebel in school, the knowledge I've developed is very, very different. And so, I guess it might be also one reason for why we are, why this. It's funny. Something so beautiful, so amazing. I mean, wow. If you've seen, maybe, I don't know, it's still on my Facebook. There's some pictures. And I was just so happy, and she was so happy. It was so amazing. And she gave me that ring. Actually, she wrote a note. A small piece of paper on a sticky note. I'm giving you this as a promise. And later on I asked her after what happened. It's like, what happened to that promise? Wow. And it shows me again also another lesson here is the power of fear. Which again is the opposite on the other side of love. There's fear. Where there's darkness, there's light. And yes, she always talked about it because and I see her to be somewhat of a very dark person. Also the Goths in general, I think it's a dark lifestyle. Dark philosophy. And she always said, we need to have balance and this and that and the other, but especially the other. But she never really listened to me, and she couldn't really receive me fully because of fear. I know that. Sadly, she doesn't give me a chance, or didn't give me a chance, to find out what it is I really know. She always said, like, Christoph, I want to figure you out somehow. I want to understand you. You're not telling me everything. And she was kind of being very pushy there. Like almost, I felt like I was being in a almost inquisition. I was in like it was an interview, and she just probed me and asked me questions. But she never really listened to me. I didn't get that sense. Sometime when we talked about things, of course. And then I also was listening to her, and it was like this. Beautiful, wonderful, 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 wonderful. But then again, what happened is history. And history, is dead. Now is new. The future is now. So this is also another reminder there. It's always about these reminders. Or the remembering, which is more than the learning or the teaching, it is about remembering. Because you already have this knowledge. You knew this already when you were a child, before you came into this world. Because this knowledge is universal, it's timeless, it connects all of us. It connects everything, all the dots. All the different points, the small points, which we ourselves are here to find. Which is a journey to the promised land leading within. That's where you find your point, you find your purpose. You find your true voice, your truth.